Canto 1, Adhyay 5, and the first shlok. And then yesterday we saw that chapter 5 is about Naraji. Dev Rishi Naraji is speaking to Vyasdev. Yeah. So Vyasdev is discontent about every creation he has done. He needs to do something, and Narad Rishi has come and he's telling him that, hey, till bhajan devotion is done in the scriptures, it's not complete. So Sut watch. Sut Goswamiji Maharaj is saying, Athatam Sukmasin Upasinam Brihat Shiva Deva Rishi hai Praha Vipra Rishim Veena Pani hai Smayan. So Sut Goswamiji said, thus the sage among us the gods, comfortably seated and apparently smiling, addressed the Rishi amongst the Brahmins, Vedyas. Right? So Naraji is addressing Vedyasi. Rinaji?
नारद उवाच पाराशर्य महाभाग भवतः कच्चिदात्मना परितुष्यति शारीर आत्मा मानस एव वा. Addressing Vyasadeva, the son of Parashar, Narad inquired, are you satisfied by identifying with the body or the mind as objects of self-realization?
Right. So Narad Muni is asking Vedyasi, son of Parasar Muni and Mata Satyavati ji, that are you just satisfied with the body or mind as objects of self-realization? What about the soul? What about the devotion? Ravi?
Jigyasitam susampanmati te madhyuttamam kritvan bharatam yastam savartha paribrihmatam. Your inquiries were full and your studies were also well fulfilled. And there is no doubt that you have prepared a great and wonderful work, the Mahabharata, which is full of all kinds of Vedic sequences elaborately explained. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right? So Vedyasji prepared Mahabharata, right? Ajay?
Sure. Jigyasir madhitam cha brahma yat sanatanam tathapi shochasya matarnam kritarth ivi prabhu. You have fully delineated the subject of impersonal Brahman as well as the knowledge derived therefrom. Why should you be dependent in spite of all this, thinking that you are undone, my dear Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Krishna. So नारद ऋषि को सब पता है, फिर भी वो पूछ रहे हैं वेदव्यास जी को कि why do you think, everything is not complete yet? Yeah. Sumit?
व्यास उवाच असत्ये मे सर्वमिदं तव्योक्तं तथापि नात्मा परित्युष्यते मे तन्मूलमव्यक्तमगाधुबोधं प्रच्महे त्वात्मा भावात्मं भूतम्. Shri Vyasadeva said, all you have said about me is perfectly correct. Despite all this, I am not pacified. I therefore question you about the root cause of my dissatisfaction. For you are a man of unlimited knowledge due to your being the offspring of one, Brahma, who is self born without mundane father and mother. Hare Krishna.
सो श्री व्यासदेव जी कह रहे हैं कि आपने जो सब कहा वो सही है, लेकिन आई एम नॉट स्पेसिफाइड. किसको बोल रहे हैं व्यासदेव जी?
Narad Muni go.
नारद मुनि को, राइट? सो आई देयरफॉर क्वेश्चन यू अबाउट द रूट कॉज ऑफ माय डिससैटिस्फैक्शन. सो वेद व्यास जी खुद के डिससैटिस्फैक्शन का कारण पूछ रहे हैं नारद ऋषि से. व्हाई? बिकॉज नारद ऋषि इज अ मैन ऑफ अनलिमिटेड नॉलेज, राइट? नारद ऋषि के पास अनलिमिटेड ज्ञान है. Why? And he's born as a self-born. He is not born with mundane father and mother, right? He's being the offspring of one of Brahma, who is self-born. Hare Krishna शिक्षा प्रभु.
हाँ, हरे कृष्णा.
पढ़ेंगे आप? आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी.
आवाज ठीक है? अभी आ रहा है?
हाँ, अभी आ रही है. आप पढ़ेंगे?
हाँ. सवय भवान वेद समस्त गुह्य उपासितो यत् पुरुषः पुराणः परावरैषो मानसेव विश्वं सृजित्य वित्यतिः गुणरस संगः. My Lord, everything that is mysterious is known to you because you worship the creator and destroyer of the material world and the maintainer of the spiritual world, the original personality of Godhead, who is the transcendental to the three modes of material nature.
राइट. सो वेद व्यास जी कह रहे हैं नारद जी को कि आप वर्शिप किसको कर रहे हो? क्रिएटर एंड डिस्ट्रॉयर ऑफ द मटेरियल वर्ल्ड एंड द मेंटेनर ऑफ द स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड. Lord Vishnu, Lord Govind, the original personality of Godhead. And also saying at the same time, original personality of Godhead, jo, who is outside the three modes of material nature. Tamogun, Rajogun and Satogun. ये भी ऊपर बाहर Lord Govind है जिनकी आप प्रार्थना करते हो. So because of that, everything is known to you. To Dev Rishi Narad. अनिल जी.
स्वयं परिठन्नर्क इव त्रिलोकी मंतश्चरो वायुरिवात्मसाक्षी परावरे ब्रह्माणि धर्मतो व्रतये सनातस्य मे न्यूनमलं विचक्ष्व. Like the sun, your goodness can travel everywhere in the three worlds, and like the air, you can penetrate the internal region of everyone. As such, you are as good as the all-pervasive supersoul. Please therefore find out the deficiency in me, despite my being absorbed in the transcendence under disciplinary regulations and vows. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. So Dev Rishi Narad, we have seen many times, right? Narayan, Narayan, Naraji is everywhere. Right? So he can travel everywhere in the three worlds. And like the air can penetrate everywhere. So again, Ved Vyas is continuously asking Naradji, please tell me what the deficiency is. Why am I discontent? See Narad. Mukesh?
Sri Narad Uvaj Bhavtanudit Prayam Yasho Bhagavato Amalam Yene Vaso Natushet Manne Tadarshnam Khilam. Sri Narad said, "You have not actually broadcast the sublime and spotless glories of the personality of Godhead. That philosophy which does not satisfy the transcendental senses of Lord is considered worthless."
Right. और ये सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात नारद ऋषि देव ऋषि नारद जी कह रहे हैं कि आपने वेदा पुराण महाभारत सबका किया है क्रिएशन, लेकिन you have not actually broadcast the sublime and spotless glories of the personality of Godhead. And if you have not done that, then it's of no use. Sumit?
यथा धर्म शथर मुनिवर्यो न कीर्तितः न तथा वासुदेवस्य महिमा अनुवर्णितः. Translation: Although great sage, you have very broadly described the four principles beginning with religious performances. You have not described the glories of the Supreme Personality, Vasudev. Hare Krishna.
Right. So it's clearly mentioned in Srimad Bhagwatam, right? Vasudev is the original personality, the supreme personality, Parmeshwar, God, right? And the glories of that has not been yet described by Ved Vyasji. That's why he's in discontent. Reena ji?
न यद्वच्चित्र पदम हरेर्षो जगत पवित्रम प्रगृणीत कहेर्चित तद्वायसम तीर्थमुशन्ति मानसा न यत्र हंसा निरमन्त्यु शिक्षया. Those words which do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by saintly persons to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for crows. Since they all perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, they do not derive any pleasure there. Hare Krishna.
दागि विसर्गो जनताग विपल्लवो यस्मिन् प्रतिश्लोकं बद्धवत्यपि नामान्यनन्तस्य यशो अंकितानि यत् शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्ति साधवः. So on the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc. of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words, directed toward bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of the world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, snug, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. Okay, so finally, Naraji Rishi is telling Vedvyasji that your literature which sings transcendental glories of Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is what is required essentially. Ravi?
निष्कर्मयप्यच्युतं भाववर्जितं न शोभते ज्ञानमलं निर्लज्जनम् कुतं पुनः सश्रद्ध भद्रमीश्वरे न चार्प्यतं कर्म यद्यकारणम्. Translation. Knowledge of self-realization, even though free from all material affinity, does not look well if devoid of a conception of infallible God. What then is used for fruitive activities, which are naturally painful from the beginning and the transcendent by the nature, if they are not utilized for the devotional service of the Lord? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right? So this is very important, right? What it's saying is, even if you are self-realized, like even if you realize your soul, right? We see a lot of tapasvi rishis, munis, who realize their soul, and they start calling them Aham Brahmasmi, right? But what it's saying is, what is the use of fruitive those activities, right? I mean, you become tapasvi by going through this painful process, right? By austerity from the very beginning. But then what is the use of all that and the self-realization if they are not utilized for the devotional service of the Lord? So that is the most important thing, the bhakti yoga, prem bhakti, which we have been reading all along. Right? So Shiksha Prabhu?
हाँ, अथो महाभाग अथो महाभाग भगवान अमोघ दृक शुचि श्रवा सत्यरतो धृतव्रतः कुरुक्रमस्य अखिल बंध मुक्तये समाधि अनुस्मरः अनुस्मर तदिचिष्टितम्. O Vasudeva, your vision is completely perfect. Your good fame is spotless. You are formed in vow and situated into truthfulness, and thus you can think of the pastime of the Lord in trance for the liberation of the people in general from all material bondage.
Right? So Narad Rishi ji कह रहे हैं व्यास देव जी को कि your vision is so perfect. Right? So what happens is you can think of the past times of the Lord. So जितनी भी अपन लीलाएं सुनेंगे भगवान के incarnation की और जितने भी अवतार हैं उनकी जो लीलाएं हैं, Vyasdev ji can think of all these past times, right? Because his vision is completely perfect. And what happens then if you do that? Then that will help in liberation for the people from the material bondage. Yeah. Sumit?
ततो न्याथा किंचन यदि वक्षतः प्रत्यादशस्तक्रतुरूपनामाभिः नाकहि चित्कोऽपि च दुसिता मति लर्भेत वाताहतनो रिविस्पद्मदम्. Translation: whatever you desire to describe that is separate in vision from the Lord simply reacts with different forms, names, and results to agitate the mind as the wind agitates a boat which has no resting place. Hare Krishna.
Ajay?
जुगुप्सितं कृतेनुशासतः स्वभावरक्तस्य महान् व्यक्तिक्रमः यथा व्यक्त्यो धर्म इति तरह स्थितो न मन्यते तस्य निदारणं जनः. The people in general are naturally inclined to enjoy, and you have encouraged them in that way in the name of religion. This is very condemned and is quite unreasonable, because they are guided under your instructions they will accept such activities in the name of religion and will hardly care for process. Hare Krishna.
Anilji?
जी हाँ। विचक्षणो अस्याहृति वेदितं विभो रनन्तपारस्य निर्वित्तितः सुखं प्रवर्तमानस्य गुणैर्नात्मनः स्ततो भवानुदर्श्य च्यसितं विभो. The Supreme Lord is unlimited. Only a very expert personality retired from the activities of material happiness deserves to understand this knowledge of spiritual values. Therefore, those who are not so well situated due to material attachment should be shown the ways of transcendental realization by your goodness through descriptions of the transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord. Shri Krishna.
So it's so important, right? Those who are not so well situated, right? And who are that, right? Like us, people like us, right? Not very well situated due to material attachment, right? We are so conditioned, materially conditioned. So what should be done? Like, so for us, we need to be shown the ways of transcendental realization by your goodness, right? So that is what Dev Rishi Narad is telling Vedvyaji, that you need to show the ways of transcendental realization. How? Through descriptions of the transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord. So, Supreme Lord की लीलाओं से, के अवतार से, उनके past time से, that will help in transcendental realization. To whom? To those who are engaged in the material attachment. Dev Rishi Naraji is stating to Ved Vyasji. Mukesh?
त्यक्त्वा स्वधर्म चरणाम भुजम हरे भर्जनन पक्वो अथ पते तत्तो यदि यत्र कव वाभद्रम भूद्रमुष्य किम कुवार्थ आपतो अभजताम स्वधर्मता. One who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in the devotional service of Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage. Yet there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything.
I mean, look, this is so important, right? Dev Rishi Narad is saying, like, anyone who is engaged in devotional service may sometimes fall down, right? Like all of us, we have negatives, positives. We may sometimes fall down, but there is no danger of him being unsuccessful. We'll again go back to the devotion. We'll again go back to the Prem Bhakti. But on the other hand, a non-devotee, even he may be fully engaged in the occupational duties, he does not gain anything, right? He can become a billionaire, he can become a president.
गजानन प्रभु,
Yes, Prabhu.
हाँ, इससे रिलेटेड देखिए भगवान कृष्ण भगवत गीता में भी स्वयं बोलते हैं कि अर्जुन डिक्लेयर करो कि मेरे भक्तों का कभी नाश नहीं होता है. इससे रिलेटेड श्लोक भगवत गीता में भी है, याद आ रहा है?
Yes. हमेशा प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं. Yeah. All right. So we have 1 minute left. Let's do the kirtan, and then we can continue tomorrow.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama